Good morning. My name is Ralf Friedrichs. I am an author, an addiction recovery coach, a life coach, and the host of this show, the Take Your Life Back Today radio show. You can also see a video version of this if you go to channel Take Your Life Back Today show on YouTube. It continues the short inspirational stories that I've been doing all week long, and they are powerful some sort. The great thing about them is that they are so easy to digest, and there always has a more at the end of the story. Whether they're true stories or not is a whole other thing, as many of them are legends supposedly happened hundreds of years ago. However, the stories that I'm talking about are so powerful and inspirational that many of them really do get you thinking and leave you speechless at times. Little boys meeting with God. Friends, there once was a little boy who wanted to meet God. He knew it was a long trip to where God lived, so he packed his suitcase with Twinkies and a six-pack of root beer and started his journey. When he had gone about 3 blocks, he met an old woman. She was just sitting there in the park, just staring at some pigeons. The boy sat down next to her and opened his suitcase. He was about to take a drink from his root beer when he noticed that the old lady looked very hungry. So he offered her a Twinkie. She gratefully accepted it and smiled at him. Her smile was so pretty that the boy wanted to see it again. So he offered her a root beer as well. Once again, she smiled at him. The boy was delighted. They sat there all afternoon, eating and smiling, but they never said a word. As it grew dark, the boy realized how tired he was, and he got up to leave, but before he had gone more than a few steps, he turned around, ran back to the older lady, and gave her a hug. She gave him her biggest smile ever. When the boy opened the door to his own house a short time later, his mother was surprised by the look of joy in his face. She asked him, "What did you do today that made you so happy?" He replied, "I had lunch with God." But before his mother could respond, he added, "You know what? She's got the most beautiful smile I've ever seen." Meanwhile, the old woman, also radiant with joy, returned to her home. Her son was stunned by the look of peace on her face. He asked, "Mother, what did you do today that made you so happy?" She replied, "I ate Twinkies in the park with God." But before her son responded, she added, "You know, he's much younger than I expected." Isn't that amazing, that story? The moral of the story is God is everywhere. We just need to share our happiness and make others smile to feel Him. That's all you need to do. The circle of a good deed. Once upon a time, Sri Krishna and Arjan went for a short stroll around the city. They saw a poor-looking priest begging. Arjan felt pity at him, and he gave him a bag of 100 gold coins. The priest became very happy and thanked Arjan. He left for his home. On the way, he saw another person who needed help. The priest could have spared a coin or two to help the person. However, he chose to ignore it. But on the way to his home, one thief robbed him of his bag of coins and ran away swiftly. The priest became dejected and went back again for begging. Next day, when Arjan saw the same priest begging, and he was surprised that after getting a bag full of coins, which can last a lifetime, the priest was there over there begging. Excuse me. He called the priest and asked him the reason for this. The priest told him about the whole incident, and Arjan again felt pity at him. So this time he gave him a diamond. The priest became very happy and left for home. And he again saw someone who needed help, but he chose to ignore them again. Upon reaching home, he safely put the diamond in an empty pot of water with a plan to cash it out later and live a wealthy life. His wife was not at home at the time. He was very tired, so he decided to take a nap. In between, his wife came home and picked up the empty pot of water, walked towards the river close by to fill it up with water. She had not noticed the diamond in the pot. Upon arriving at the river, she put the whole pot into the river to have water fill it up. She filled up the pot, but the diamond was gone with the water. It just flowed away. Friends, when the priest woke up, he went to see the pot and asked his wife about the diamond. She told him she had not noticed it, and it must have been lost in the river. The priest couldn't believe his bad luck and again started begging. Again, Arjan and Sri Krishna saw him begging, and Arjan inquired about it again. Arjan felt bad and started thinking if the priest will ever have a happy life. Sri Krishna, who is an incarnation of God, smiled. Sri Krishna gave the priest 1 coin, which was not even enough for buying a lunch or a dinner for one person. Arjan asked Sri Krishna, Lord, I gave him gold coins and diamonds, which could have given him a wealthy life, yet it didn't help him. How will just 1 coin help this poor guy? Sri Krishna smiled and told Arjan to follow the priest and find out. On the way, the priest was thinking that 1 coin Sri Krishna gave him, he can't even buy lunch for 1 person. Why would he give so little? He saw a fisherman who was getting a fish out of his net. Fish was struggling. The priest felt pity at the fish. He thought that this 1 coin won't solve my problem. Why not save that fish? So the priest paid the fisherman and took the fish. He put the fish in a small pot of water, which he always carried with him. The fish was struggling in the small pot of water as well. Ended up throwing out a diamond from the mouth. The priest screamed with joy, I got it! I got it! At the same time, the thief who had robbed the priest of a bag of 100 gold coins was passing through there. He thought that the priest recognized him and may get him punished. He got nervous and ran to the priest. He apologized to the priest and returned his bag of 100 coins. The priest couldn't believe what had just happened. Arjan saw all of this and said, Oh Lord, now I understand your play. Friends, the moral of this story was, when you have enough to help others, don't let the chance go. Your good deeds will always be repaid to you by the Almighty God. Call me at 844-405-HELP. Together we can help each other take our lives back. Be good to yourselves and always be good to each other. Remember, a simple smile to anyone, even your neighbor, can change their life and change their day, and it can change your life. For God so loved the world, he gave his own begotten Son. How many of us can truly say that we would give our sons, grandsons, for the sake of loving other people? Well, God did it for you. Never forget that. May God bless each and every one of you, and we'll talk